Coming up next is an exclusive discussion. It is the WoW story of two wonderful women who have taken the Amway of entrepreneurship. May I please call upon to moderate this discussion, Ms. Binjal Shah, Chief Correspondent, Outlook Business, Women of Worth. Okay, can my team give me a quick heads up if we are waiting for Binjal? Oh, there she comes, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, put your hands together for Chief Correspondent, Outlook Business, Women of Worth, Binjal Shah. Binjal, thank you so much. What a gorgeous lady, right? Look at her.
It's a busy day, as you can imagine.
Totally did. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, she'll be in conversation with Amway Business owners, Ms. Vasanta Bhargava and Ms. Shivya.
All right. I hope you guys are having an amazing evening. We've had an amazing time putting this together. I hope you've gone to all of the pit stops, clicked plenty of pictures, and you're posting about this online, creating the noise that we ought to have been years ago. So I'm very happy to be hosting you guys tonight. And this will be a quick session, but it's going to be a very, very revelatory one, if I may say so myself. So the woman labor force has been a point of conversation for times immemorial, right? We talk about how that there's a gender gap in terms of how many women join the workforce, how many women end up staying back in the workforce, and how many women, unfortunately, fall off the wagon. But what is a very, very underrated success story is the kind of models that companies like Amway have sort of put together to mobilize the troops and sort of tap into the completely unbound professional of women who are very, very well exposed, very, very well cultured, but have not quite found the correct avenue to join India's formal labor force. So we have two women professionals like that with us who have been part of the Amway Business network, who, in fact, this model of working has become so very successful that you now see women professionals who find this to be a more lucrative business to join into. So we have two such women professionals with us who used to be a part of the corporate sector but were putting in the grind every single day until they found this more lucrative format of working. And they're here to tell you their story about how it's been becoming Amway Business owners and how that format of working turned their careers and their lives around. So the stage is yours. Please share your wow moment with us, if you may, of why you decided to make the switch to entrepreneurship and how this model of working has worked out fabulously for you so far.
It's not a question of switching entrepreneurship. I was handling some businesses. We had cable TV networks. We had a telecom business. That's one day my husband Anand decided to build the Amway business. I had a shock of my life. I said something is wrong with him because you can imagine I'm an engineer, he's an engineer, he worked for my MNCs, I worked for MNCs, and he suddenly comes back home and he says he wants to build the Amway business. And I said, my God, he's going to start selling detergents door to door. That's what I thought at that point of time. Most of them don't understand the business that Amway has. Amway is a beautiful business. I was clueless at that point of time. I didn't really understand the business at all. The more you understand the business, many businesses look very glamorous on the outside, but when you get in, you hear a lot of challenges. You just heard the previous ones. Trust me, we don't have all those challenges that they were talking about. Okay, it's a glamorous business. The more and more you get into it, the more and more you fall in love with it. I hated it in the beginning, but I can't do anything. I can't think of doing anything else in my life other than this business, because the company is fantastic, fantastic products, and you know.
Hi, everybody. First of all, how many of you enjoyed the panel? I'm still not out of it, you know. Thank you for all the women, you know, who were panelists, for pouring your hearts out. You really made our evening worth, you know, by adding so much of value. And thanks to Outlook for connecting us to them and creating this forum for all of us. So coming to me, my background, I did my engineering in NIT Trichy. And I started my career with Infosys. I worked there for a few years, and then I moved on to IBM. I worked there for a few years. But within a few short months of starting my IT career, I felt that I didn't belong there. I felt caged in a cubicle because I used to write poetry in college, and I felt there was no poetry at all in my regular IT job. So I would look outside through the window of my cubicle, and I saw the seasons changing, you know, things happening outside, but I felt lost, you know. So I was really looking for a better way to live, a better way of doing things my way. I wanted to run my life on my own terms and conditions. And this was the only thing I was clear about. And I had no idea that a business, and on top of it, an Amway business would be a solution for what I was looking for. Because like most of you, I also had a lot of preconceived notions, a lot of misconceptions about the whole direct selling industry and about Amway as a brand as well. So the first year and a half, I really had to explore in depth on what it is all about. And thankfully, I was open-minded to explore, and I really discovered that there is a tremendous possibility of not only building a business of my own, but a possibility to empower a lot of other women from whatever walks of life, different profiles, but women who want to either create their own identity, or women who are looking for an opportunity, but they're willing to work, willing to learn. And here I had a tool with which I felt empowered to touch and impact how many other lives I would choose to. So I really, you know, saw that as an exciting possibility from a regular IT job to doing something that would let me live a life of meaning, purpose, and contribution. And that's what this opportunity has offered me.
Lovely. Thank you so very much for joining us and for explaining the rationale behind why you made the career switch. It's such a tricky decision for most people. So thank you for being so open and honest about it. And now, without any further ado, where it's time for the session that we've all been waiting for. Speaking of inspiring women who have contributed to the country in the most wholesome manner, we have Manisha Koirala with us. So I will be handing over the stage to her very, very shortly. Xenia, over to you. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies.
Let's hear it for the lovely ladies on stage. Thank you so much for reaffirming that it's an undeniable way of entrepreneurship and has really become independence for millions of women.